Are you doing it? Yeah, I am. Okay, good.
1, 2. Can everyone hear me? Excellent. The air of expectancy. Brilliant, brilliant. So brilliant to see you all today. Welcome to this wonderful day. My name is Dave Wyatt. I work at Cardiff University, but I'm co-director of CAER Heritage with Ollie and with Dave Horton from ACE. And we are here today to celebrate Cardiff's best and most vibrant community, which also hosts the oldest and largest ancient monument in our city. And now it's got an amazing community heritage centre and a wonderful heritage themed playground to celebrate that fact. And it's taken a lot of time to get here. It's taken a lot of hard work from an awful lot of people, many of whom are here today. But looking at this beautiful building, it's been worth it. This is going to be a place of creativity, a place of making and doing. It's not a museum, it's a community place. A place of community heritage where we discover new stories about the past of CAER Hillfort, which dates back 6,000 years. So this place is the original Cardiff. It's the oldest place in Cardiff, and that story needs to be told. It's also going to be a place as well for opportunity for developing new skills, new opportunities, new partnerships in the present. A place for celebrating the brilliant communities who live in the shadow of this mighty Hillfort and to showcase the immense talent and knowledge and warmth in these communities. So today we're celebrating the creation of new pasts and the creation of new futures as well through the heritage. And everything you see here today, all of our discoveries about the past, this building, the heritage-themed playground up there, are a product of these vibrant and talented communities and the co-production, knowledge and ideas that come from the communities and with Action CAER and Ely, our brilliant community development partners. Over the last 10 years, people of all ages have been involved in the archaeological digs, post-excavation analysis, art installations, exhibitions, historical research, filmmaking. We've made cartoons, animation, trail clearance, and also looking after the place, litter picking and stuff like that. Lots and lots of events. They've also been involved, all local people have been involved in all of that, and also in co-designing this beautiful building with the architects and that amazing playground as well. Co-production right at the heart. And the story we start today will not end here. This is just the beginning. This building is quite deliberately, you'll notice, a fairly blank canvas. And the CAER and ACE teams will be working with all of you to decide what happens here, and that starts today. So together, we will shape how we help people to understand this incredible heritage of this place, but we will also shape how we can use this building, and more broadly, this amazing monument, to benefit local people of all ages and to think about how we can use the heritage to open up new life opportunities, new educational journeys. We've got Leonie here, starting with a degree on a CAER scholarship, as well as Doug. New employment, new social enterprise, maybe working with a business school who are here. Improve well-being and health, and establish new friendships and partnerships. And all of that to tell a positive story about these brilliant communities and to ensure that people value, recognise the importance of this fantastic place and these brilliant communities and this incredible heritage. Working with our partners, ACE, Cardiff University, Cardiff West Community High, all of the local schools, Cardiff Council, of course, huge partners, Wales and West Housing. Our amazing heritage partners are here today from Museum of Cardiff and the National Museum of Wales. But most of all, most importantly, all of you, all the people locally. So, to finish off, I'm just going to let you know what happens next. First of all, I'm going to invite some people to speak, especially, importantly, our brilliant local volunteers from the Love Our Hillfort to tell a little bit about their stories. Then we're hoping the First Minister will say a little bit about his thoughts. He's been coming up to our digs and been involved in the project and interested in the project for many years. And then Damien Walford-Davis from the university will speak. Dave from Action CAER will speak, and then Damien Walford-Davis, Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the university, will speak. And finally, our brilliant funders from the National Lottery Heritage Fund, Andrew White, is here and would like to say a few words. And then in groups that are mixed with some of the, if you like, our lovely visiting guests powerful people, mixing with our local people, mixing with the volunteers, all together in a co-productive style. We will do little tours through the building where you can leave your ideas about the values and the space that we can use this place for, and to hear some more of the stories. When you go inside, please socially distance, and please all wear masks. If you haven't bought them, we have them here, and that's just a little bit of health and safety. But I'd like to say a very warm welcome. Thank you all. And now I'm going to hand over to our lovely volunteers. Who's coming first? Alice? Alice! Amazing, Alice.
Hi everybody, my name is Alice Clark. I'm an Ely girl and I'm a volunteer for ACE, and I do arts and crafts, I do pantry, I do gardening, and also I help with the Hillfort CAER heritage. And being a part of this, they're all my friends and family, and if it wasn't for these lot I wouldn't be here. So thank you all for being here, and I hope you all enjoy your day.
So Alex next.
A little bit bigger.
Hi, my name's Alex. I'm a volunteer for ACE. I work in the pantry, which is basically helping people on low income get food. I heard through the Dusty Forge about the Heritage Hillfort. I've been coming here for 2 years. It's a brilliant project to be involved in. It's educational and it brings the community together, and I'm so proud to be part of this group today, and I hope you all enjoy yourselves.
Sean next.
Hello, I'm Sian. I retired last August with plans to do so many things, and all of a sudden everything went down into lockdown. So as a member of Cardiff Archaeological Society, we were invited by Ollie to join in CAER Hillfort's Zoom meetings, which I did and I thoroughly enjoyed. Through the Zoom meetings, when lockdown lifted a little bit, I started joining the gang and coming and volunteering at the Hillfort, which led on to other volunteer opportunities. And being at CAER Hillfort, with the love of history, I found that it's not just about history, it's about community and friendship. Thank you everybody for coming.
And finally, I'm just going to introduce Helen.
Hi guys, my name's Helen Green. I moved to CAER a year ago, and what hit me in CAER was the community. I looked for something to get involved in to sort of become part of that community. So when I went to the Dusty Forge, I done art and craft at the time, was getting to know a few people, and was signposted to come and help at the Hillfort. To be honest with you, it's been an amazing experience. It's hard work sometimes, you know, we are pulling back brambles and trees and bushes, but when you see the result today, it is so worth it. And I just want to say thank you to CAER for your community, and I praise God for it. Thank you guys. Over to Mark.
So if I could just welcome up our First Minister and of course Assembly Member for Hillfort.
Well, Dave, diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much indeed. It's a fantastic pleasure and privilege to be here this afternoon. I've been asked a couple of times as I've been walking around by people, what does it feel like to be here today? And I think the answer I've felt is it feels overwhelming to be here today. To be back where many of us met before the pandemic began to talk about the plans for what would happen here. And to be back today and to actually see it, the fantastic building behind me, the play area in front of it, the wonderful setting that we are in, it really does feel an overwhelming sort of experience. And that I think is because none of this sort of thing happens without the most enormous amount of effort from so many people. And just thinking about who you'll hear a bit from, you can see the enormous different layers of people who played a part at the national level, the UK level. The Heritage Lottery, the investment that they've made in this part of Wales and this part of Cardiff, the Welsh Government with its own small part in it, the council, and the council has done a fantastic job here, and you've got two fantastic councillors in Peter Bradbury and Elaine Simmons here with us today, who've been part of all of this throughout the whole of the planning. The school, the brilliant new school we've got here in CAER and Ely, and Martin, the head teacher here as well. Students from the school have been part of this experience for the 10 years that work has been going on the Hillfort site. And then, and most importantly of all, the organisations and the people from this part of our city. So this would never have happened without ACE. The people who work in it, the people who volunteer in it, the day in, day out work that goes on, having the ideas, talking to people, finding the money, employing the builders. You know, behind everything that we are here to celebrate lies those hours and hours and years of effort and contribution that people make. And why do they make it? Well, you've heard it already. They make it because of the fantastic community that we have here in this part of the city. And without their support, and without their willingness to be part of this journey, we wouldn't be here today celebrating everything that's been achieved. And what are we celebrating? We're celebrating that link between the oldest experience of any human beings ever to live in this part of the world and the youngest people who are here with us today and whose futures will be shaped by what goes on in this part of our city. For all of that, it is a most fantastic day of celebration. Thank you for the chance to be here again. Thank you to everybody who's helped to make it happen.
Thank you so much, Mark, and you know, taking the time out to come to an event like this, just amazing to have you here. I know you've been up to the dig so many times and been supportive all those years. I'm going to ask Dave Horton, following on from that big up for ACE, I'm going to ask Dave to say a few words from ACE.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Hello, everyone. Hello. Yeah. Okay, we're working. Good. Yeah, Mark gave an excellent introduction there for the bit. But basically my task now is to thank a lot of people. All have been involved in different ways, and Mark's hinted at the breadth and the depth of the people who have been involved in this project. So if it's all right with you, I'm going to run through and just thank a few people officially. First of all, I'd like to start with thanking the many community members who live locally here in CAER and have been involved in CAER heritage developments over recent years. In particular, I'd really like to thank the Love Our Hillfort groups, many of whom you've heard from this morning, this afternoon, who every week, every Friday are out keeping the place tidy, litter picking, up in the woods, coppicing and creating the new footpaths so you'll be able to go and explore our local Hillfort. I'd like to thank, I'm really sorry that a couple of them aren't here because they're not very well, but the fabulous Unity group based on Church Road and run by a lady called Dawn and other people like Janine who have done brilliant work in this area for years, not only getting on with their own work of fun days and the other things they do for local kids and local families, but have also been involved in helping us design the Heritage Centre and have also brought their kids along. And I'd like to thank all the kids and young people locally who helped design our fantastic play area. And we did a load of trips to local heritage-themed play areas in South Wales in the summer before COVID, and then have workshops where we designed the play area together, and it's amazing to watch it come together into what it is now. So thank you to all those fantastic people. A big thank you to the organisations who funded the centre and the play area. So Andrew White, James Nee Davis and all at the National Lottery Heritage Fund. We couldn't have done any of this without you, and we're really grateful. Rebecca and the Moondance Foundation, thank you so much for your support. Anne Hinchy and Herman and all the crew at Wales and West Housing Association for helping us with the play area particularly, and for working so closely with Unity and other groups in the area who live in your houses. And to Cardiff Council, and particularly Peter Bradbury, who's helped us secure money for the play area and has been involved right from the beginning and throughout in helping us plan for this. and helping us work with the council and Cardiff Council Parks Department particularly, who have been very involved. And then I'd like to thank Willis Construction, who have taken us through the building process. They've been absolutely fab. Richard, Glyn, Matthew, Craig, Adam and colleagues. And particularly Mike, who's the foreman, who's managed all this. I've got a t-shirt for Mike. Thank you, Mike, for overseeing all this. You've been a real steady pair of hands that we've been able to trust.
Thank you very much. Well done, Mike.
Wear it with pride. I'd also like to thank Franks and Tom's Architects, John and Nyla, and special thanks to Steve and Franks. Again, I can't tell you how amazing it is and how thrilled we are to have a building that reflects the creativity of local people. So we had some brilliant workshops at the beginning of the process, so thinking, what do we want this building to communicate about the local heritage, about our community, and about providing a welcome for people around us. And it's been so exciting to work with people who understand that and to end up with a building that reflects that and just builds that into the fabric of the building. So thanks so much, and I think we've got a t-shirt for Mike as well. Stephen. Mike Jukes?
No, Stephen. Stephen. Oh, sorry, Stephen.
Yeah, it's Steve, sorry. Steve and Frank, or Mike can have two, but they're the same. So. Where's Stephen?
I'll have it. I'll give it to him.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
A few more thank yous. Thank you to Green Play for working with us on our fabulous play area, who helped install it. Thank you to our elected members, some of whom we've heard from, Mark Drakeford, our MP Kevin Brennan, and our local councillors Peter and Elaine. We're really grateful for their regular support throughout. And then getting on to the CAER Heritage team themselves, I'd like to thank Cardiff University. Look, there's no way we'd have got anywhere near even dreaming about this without Cardiff University. The partnership between ACE and Cardiff University is really I think quite remarkable. So I'd like to thank Cardiff University as a whole, but in particular Dave and Ollie, who have just, I don't know, I don't want to say about them, I might get quite emotional saying this. They've not only showed that they understand what we're trying to do here and the kind of community-led co-production that ACE is all about, but they've actually shown a long-term commitment to that for 10 years. And it's not always easy. There's been all kinds of challenges, even this last week, which I'll mention in a minute. And those guys have stuck with it throughout, through thick and thin. So you can have a massive cheer for Dave and Ollie and all the I'd like to thank our other partners on the CAER Heritage project. CAER Heritage is characterised by partnerships with a number of organisations. Martin Hulland at Cardiff West Community High School and all the staff at the school. The National Museum of Wales, the Museum at Cardiff, Cardiff Council Parks Department and Glamorgan Gwent Archaeological Trust. And finally, a massive thanks to the ACE CAER team, Salafa, Charlotte, Nick, Poppy, Rosie and Kimberly. And a really big thank you to my friend John Hallett, and partner in crime for many years now nearly. Not only for managing the building from ACE's side, but also for being ACE's first director and seeing us all through the first 10 years. Thank you, John.
Well done, John.
And I know that for the ACE team, the new facilities here will make for a really exciting next stage of the project. I've got one very final thing to say in terms of thanks. I just want to remember and make sure we remember and acknowledge our wonderful colleague and friend Caroline Barr, who very sadly passed away earlier this year. She would have loved all this. She'd have been serving soup and knocking out pizza from the ACE pizza oven, no doubt, if she was here. And we will always feel her absence in ACE. There'll always be a hole, a Caroline-shaped hole in ACE. So we want to remember her always when we're doing anything like this and carry her into the future with us. So just remember Caroline.
She'll be on the artwork.
She will feature a portrait of her on the artwork here soon, yeah, which is fantastic. Just really quickly, and that's all the thank yous. I'm really sorry if I've missed anyone. Just a couple of final things. Yesterday, a number of us gathered here to discuss some of the challenges that have arisen in recent weeks around antisocial behaviour at the new playground. And community members were understandably upset and angry about some of their experiences. This may not sound like a very promising context for a gathering. And it was a slightly nerve-wracking attending. But I came away really encouraged and inspired by the discussions that came out of that conversation. Frustrations were expressed and sympathy was shared with each other, and people understood each other. One resident turned up with flowers for some of our Love Our Hillfort volunteers, giving everyone a chance to recognise their contribution and celebrate their skills. People shared their love for their neighbours and for this community and the joy they find in living here together. And in this street right now, here and now, they're happy to be here. People shared their passion for the play area and for the community centre and their absolute insistence that they weren't going to let it fail and that we would all work together to make it work. And community members and partners, including police and the school and Wales and West and our councillors, all share what they thought they could do together to help the situation and to support each other. And finally, we visited the new centre and encouraged each other to be excited and hopeful for the future and for everything that's to come. And I guess what I want to say is if I had to point to something that captured what ACE, our organisation, is all about, that meeting would be a pretty good place to start. It's about honesty about our circumstances, a firm belief in the strengths and qualities of our community and the people in it, and a celebration of everything that each of us brings, and an insistence on finding hope through acting together. So I'm really looking forward to more of those kind of adventures with all of you in the future, and I hope you have a really good day. Thank you.
Fantastic. So I'd like to know, Dave talked quite a lot about the university there, and I'd like to welcome Damien Wolford-Davis, if I may, who is our Deputy Vice-Chancellor at Cardiff University and a long-term supporter of our project as well. He's just going to say a little bit about the university's involvement.
Thanks, Dave. Diolch o galon I chi am y gwahoddiad. You've listened very carefully. I won't keep you. Are we up and running?
Yes, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. Is that okay? No. It's in and out. Shall I just shout? Diolch o galon I chi am y gwahoddiad. I just wanted to say this is a really personal experience for me. I have invested a lot of my emotional energy in this site. I've brought my kids to it. I've seen it change. I've seen what you've done to it. It means a lot to me. And to know that the communities of CAER and Ely came together with Cardiff University, led by Dave and Ollie, as you've heard from the School of History, Archaeology and Religion, as part of this project, and reached on and through and under the layered ground of that Hillfort, an understanding of what communities are, were, and can be, Neolithic, Iron Age, medieval, contemporary, and still to be born, fills me with immense pride. What we have here is the result of a kind of place-based understanding of really the most meaningful kind. And it's been done sensitively, hasn't it? It's been done sensitively and respectfully by all partners over the 10 years that you've just been hearing about. 10 years of digging, of building, of listening exquisitely to each other. With, from our side, academic interpretation of the site enriched through the lens of your resident sense of belonging and relating to this living location. Heritage, if you like, revealed through home. Finally, what is a Hillfort? A Hillfort is a site of concentration and congregation, not always of defence. That's where we currently think we are with Hillforts. So not necessarily defensive, not necessarily military. They are a hub. Their architecture expressing a visible claim on the landscape, and that's very clear even now. And the CAER project has taken those facts and it has made them, I'm sure you'll agree, values and principles through which to celebrate a place and a people. Wy'n llawn o dymagydd o'r hyn sydd wedi ganfod a'i greu yn y lle hwn. Finally, this is not a project from our side in which one discipline has laid down its dogmas. Rather, we've had creative writing, as you've heard, filmmaking, art and dance, pooling their own resources, driving their own kinds of trenches, if you like, through the Hillfort, revealing different things in each case, further layering the site with new meanings. And this, and that, and him, and you are part now of the genetics of this place. You're part of the meanings that other generations in future will themselves, through technologies not yet born, excavate in the way that you've been excavating with your hands and your minds and your hearts. Diolch yn fawr.